कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गौर हरे जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गंधर्विका तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. So, welcome to this session on lessons of Ramayana in this festive occasion of Dasahara. All children are having holidays. They are happy. They don't know what to do. So, in this festive occasion, in this holy time period of Navratri, I thought it's very appropriate to also discuss the importance of Dasahara, which is also known as Ramchandra Vijayotsava. Srila Prabhupada in one of his letters comments that the effect which you get out of reading Ramayana, the same effect you get by reading Bhagavad Gita. Ramayana is the Adi Kavya, or is the original poetic composition which is meant for the liberation or for the spiritual emancipation of mankind. However, talking in terms of Kali Yuga, considering the fact that we have a short lifespan, very unfortunate, spiritually dull, it's not very easy to read 24,000 verses, whereas Bhagavad Gita contains only 700 verses. So therefore, considering our lack of qualification to read Ramayana, we often focus on Bhagavad Gita. However, we take the opportunity of discussing Ramayana, which is not different from Bhagavad Gita. The story, the great story of the Lord of Treta Yuga, Sri Ram. In all discussions, especially primarily in ISKCON temples, the discussions on Ramayana is primarily based on Sri Valmiki Ramayana. In the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you will find two chapters dedicated to the discussion of the pastimes of Lord Ram, and there Shukdev Goswami also tells to Parikshit Maharaj that there are many, many commentaries on Ramayana, and you, my dear Parikshit, have also heard many of them. And because you have already heard, so I will not describe them in full detail. So he describes it in brief. That means even during the time of Dwapar Yuga, during the times of Parikshit Maharaj, there were already many, many commentaries, bhashyas on Ramayana. But the original comment or the original composition is Sri Valmiki Ramayana, from whom all the other bhashyas and commentaries have been derived. So therefore, it's always safe and it's always very appropriate to take shelter of the original composition, Valmiki Ramayana. In Valmiki Ramayana, towards the end of the session, I can give you a link also where you can read it from. It's very, very elaborate. In fact, I would like to glorify one publication which I am taking shelter of, Rupa Raghunath Publications. In one of the letters, Srila Prabhupada wrote that it is my desire to translate Ramayana the same way I am doing Srimad Bhagavatam translation. Word-to-word meanings, translations, and purport. And that purport should be in line with the commentary of the previous acharyas. Although Srila Prabhupada in his manifest pastimes could not do it, but he has inspired his followers to do it. And his followers are doing it in line with the teachings of Prabhupada. So we might as well say that Prabhupada is now translating Ramayana through a publication called Rupa Raghunath Publications, headed by His Grace Vidwan Varan. So I am very much happy to read that book every now and then. I keep reading it. And it is very, very nice. Word-to-word meanings, translations, purport, commentaries from the acharyas of various sampradayas also are there in it. And ultimately, because Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of all Vedic literature, so this Valmiki Ramayana translation is ultimately based out of the teachings of Bhagavatam. So I am very much appreciating this, and I recommend that everybody should read it. Under the leadership of His Grace Vidwan Varan Prabhu, Rupa Raghunath Publications has produced, I think, 4 cantos already. And if I am not wrong, there may be around 30 books to cover the entire Ramayana, and with very nice pictures, so you might as well read. Okay, quiz in the beginning of the class. How many cantos are there in Ramayana? Or how many kants are there in Ramayana? Yes?
7.
Can you name them?
Balkand.
In sequence, huh? Balakand, okay.
Ayodhya Kand.
Okay.
Aranyakand.
Aranyakand. It's very natural.
Kishkinda
Kishkinda
Kand.
Sundarkand.
Yuddhakand.
Yuddhakand.
Uttarakand.
Uttarakand. Very good. So Lord Ram has been glorified. Those who are chanting this Nama Ramayana or the other things, you will be able to appreciate that Lord Ram has been glorified in different ways in different cantos. So I was just trying to make an analysis. What is the unique way in which Lord Ram is glorified? So in Balkand, Lord Ram is glorified as the cause of the entire universe. There are many so-called non-bona fide books of Ramayana who say that Lord Ram is just a human being. Sometimes they say Lord Ram is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the Valmiki Ramayana fully confirms this, that Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is the cause of the entire creation or the universe. In Ayodhya Kand, he has been told that he is the cause of maintenance also. Different characters, they confirm this. In Aranyakand, he has been called as the one who is the giver of liberation to everybody. In Kishkinda Kand, the display of all the 6 opulences of Godhead. What are the 6 opulences of Godhead? Everybody may know. 6 symptoms of Godhead. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Jnana Vairagyayoshchaiva Sannam Bhaveti. So all these 6 opulences of Godhead, that is the most beautiful, the most intelligent, the most rich, the most strong, the most famous, and the most renounced. These 6 qualities are very nicely displayed in the Kishkinda Kand. So therefore, in Kishkinda Kand, Lord Ram is glorified as possessor of all prosperity and all auspicious qualities of Godhead. In Sundarkand, very obviously, he is described as the destroyer of everybody. In Yuddhakand, he is glorified as the noble character who is glorified through the Upanishads. And in the Uttarakhand, he is being told as the cause of the creator of the universe. So there is something called as primary creation and there is something called as secondary creation. Atra sarga visargo sthanam poshanam manvantare shantata nirodho muktir ashraya. These are the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. So first is sarga and then is visarga. Primary creation and secondary creation. So Lord Ram has been told as the cause of the creator of the universe, meaning Lord Brahma is doing the secondary creation. So the cause of Brahma is Lord Ram. And what is the difference between Lord Ram and Krishna? No difference. They are the same person. What is the purpose of Ramayana? Why the Ramayana was existing? Why the Ramayana was written in one place, in the first place? For example, if you want to analyze, if you take up any book and if you want to analyze a particular subject matter of the book around which the entire book revolves, it is generally called as Paribhash Sutra. Every author, before writing a book or making a composition, has a single theme in his or her mind. That is the Paribhash Sutra. And everything around the Paribhash Sutra is composed. If I ask you, what is the Paribhash Sutra of Bhagavad Gita? What will your answer be?
Body is not.
Sorry?
We are not the body.
We are not the body, okay. Any other answer? Good answer, by the way.
It's the manual of the life, how we should live.
How we should live, it is manual of life, very good. Any other answer? Sorry? Karma Yoga, which one? Chapter 3 or chapter 5? Both. Specify karna padta hai. Okay. Karma Yoga, chapter 3, and Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, chapter 5. Okay. That is what the Paribhash Sutra of Bhagavad Gita. Anything else?
Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God.
Okay. Bhagavan Vacha. All of you are right. And all of you are very close also. But the whole Paribhash, yes, you want to say?
Basically understand the constitutional position, why we came in that, what we realize what you are, what your purpose, and live according to that.
Yes. Correct. According to Srila Prabhupada, the Paribhash Sutra, or the main reason why the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, was Manmana Bhavamad Bhakti. Madhyaji Mam Namaste. Mam Evesha Satyam Te Parijani Pratijani. Become a devotee of Lord Krishna, always worship Lord Krishna, offer your obeisances to Lord Krishna, and think of Lord Krishna. This is the primary reason. That's why later on, the extension of this Paribhash Sutra is Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. This is the main theme of Bhagavad Gita. That one has to become Sharanagati of Krishna. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is also alternatively called as Sharanagati Grantha. Simply by reading the Bhagavad Gita, what should be the result of reading Bhagavad Gita? You should think of Krishna, you should become devotee of Krishna, you should worship Krishna, and you should offer your obeisances to Krishna. Basically, you become Sharanagati of Krishna. So that is the Paribhash Sutra. So similarly, if we try to become a little more technical, the Paribhash Sutra of any book can be analyzed by 6 steps. Like in chemistry lab, you go, or you do these steps and you understand what is the titration value of this acid or whatever. So similarly, there are 6 steps which you can take, and if you are qualified enough, you can analyze the Paribhash Sutra of Ramayan. These 6 steps are Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa. I couldn't find the Sanskrit terminology for her. So the 5th one is novel, Phalam, and the 6th one is logical reasoning. So Upakrama means beginning. See what is there in the beginning of the book. Which subject matter? What does the book start with? Upasamhara, what does the book end with? Abhyasa, what is repeated again and again in the book? What is something which can be understood through that book which cannot be provided by anybody else? What is the novel understanding or the novel concept in that book? What is the result of reading that book? And what is the maximum glorification and the logical reasoning of that glorification given in this book? So this I am deriving from one of the from the Valmiki Ramayan. But this reasoning has come from Brihad Samhita, a composition by Madhvacharya. He gave these 6 steps to understand the Paribhasha Sutra of any book. So Upakrama, beginning. The whole Ramayan begins with discussion between some characters, and the subject matter of that discussion is Lord Rama. Second, Upasamhara. The Uttarkand ends with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva talking, where Lord Brahma is glorifying that we are artificially thinking that we are the creators and the destroyers of this universe, but actually we are all dependent on the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. So that ending is also based on Lord Ram. And throughout Abhyasa, throughout the scripture, again and again, in all the kandas, we can make some reference of all the characters, and all the characters have confirmed that Lord Ram is the Sharanagat Vatsala. He is the person worthy of surrender, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in order to understand Ramayan, one of the primary things which you need to do is to take shelter of the devotees of Lord Ram, of Lord Krishna. Other than taking shelter of a devotee of the Lord, you can never understand Ramayan. So, without bhakti, Ramayan is inaccessible. And finally, or the second last is phala. What is the result of reading Ramayan? You attain the same abode as Lord Ram, just like the Ayodhya-vasis. And throughout the Ramayana, a lot of logical reasoning. When Marij is talking to Ravan, he's giving a very logical reasoning to Ravan. That see, these are the facts why Lord Ram is Supreme Personality. Vibhishan is talking to Ravan, he's giving so many facts. Tara is talking to Bali, and she's giving so many facts. So throughout the Lakshmana is talking to various people and giving so many facts that why Lord Ram is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Paribhasha Sutra of Lord Ramayan or Ramayan is basically the spotless character of Lord Ram. When we analyze these 6 things. Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can do anything, but his primary strength is not his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but his primary strength is his supreme spotless character, his obedience to his seniors, and his humility in his dealings with everyone. So that is the main theme of Ramayana. Now, it's very difficult to summarize the lessons from Ramayana. They are unlimited. Every page of Ramayana is filled with so many lessons. But somehow I've been able to categorize or pick up some lessons from here and there which I'm going to share. If you have some notebooks or if you have some things, maybe you can take note. Lesson number 1. Ramayana teaches us what is the meaning of the word Ram. Hare Krishna, happy to see you. So, what is the meaning of the word Ram? Ramante yogino nante satyanande chidatmani iti Rama padena sho param brahma vidhiyate. The supreme absolute truth is called Ram because the transcendentalists take pleasure in the unlimited true pleasure of spiritual existence. One special quality of Lord Ram is that he used to give pleasure to everybody simply by standing in front of them. Spiritual beauty personified, Lord Ram. This reminds me of the beautiful letter which Mother Rukmini had written to Lord Krishna. She had never seen Lord Krishna, she had only heard about Lord Krishna. And simply by hearing, she says very beautifully in the Bhagavatam, that simply by hearing about the qualities of Lord Krishna, all the anga tapam, all the agitation and all the uneasiness which is there due to material existence has been resolved. This is the difference between material beauty and spiritual beauty. Material beauty agitates your mind and fills you with passion. But spiritual beauty pacifies you and takes you in samadhi. That spiritual beauty personified is Lord Ram. Simply by seeing Lord Ram, everybody will feel that I don't need anything else in me. That is the basic nature of this quality of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And every incarnation of the Lord has this quality. Therefore, every incarnation of the Lord can be called as Ram. The happiness which Bali Maharaj felt after seeing Vamanadev, that aspect of happiness can be called Ram. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, can also be called as Ram. Dashrath Nandan can also be called as Ram. Parshuram can also be called as Ram. So this whole aspect where the transcendentalists who have understood I am not the body but the spirit soul and matter is abominable and I should not take shelter of matter. Just like the Bhagavad Gita says, Yehi samparsha jab hoga dukkha yonaya evate adya antavant kauntaya nateshuramate vudha. As soon as the sense objects and the senses they come together, immediately a pregnancy of misery takes place. Dukkha yonaya evate. Why pregnancy? Because when the sense objects come in touch with the senses, for initial time there is some kind of illusory enjoyment. Just like when somebody becomes pregnant, in future they give birth to a child. So similarly, the combination of the sense and the sense objects gives you suffering in future. Dukkha yonaya. And the pleasure which you derive by the combination of the sense and the sense objects, it has a beginning and an end. Adya antavanta kauntaya. Nateshuramate vudha. Those who are intelligent, they will never take any pleasure in partaking in such happiness which has a beginning or an end, knowing that as a spirit soul, I am eternal. So the whole concept of Lord Ram is completely against material life. So those who have understood that my happiness can lie only in the spiritual realm, they are called transcendentalists. And the aspect or the personality or the name, form, qualities and pastimes where these transcendentalists take pleasure, unlimited, true pleasure, is called as Ram. So that is the first lesson from Valmiki. Second lesson, why is Lord Ram worthy of surrender? Why should we surrender to Lord Ram? So I have taken a conversation between Narad Muni and Valmiki, which helps us understand why we should surrender to Supreme Personality of God. Kono asmin sampratam loke gunavan kahascha viryavan dharmagnyascha kritagnyascha satyavakyo dridhaprata. Valmiki is asking that tell me something about a person. Kono asmin sampratam loke, in this loka, in this planet or in this world, who is such kind of a person? Who is gunavan, viryavan, dharmagyasya, kritagyasya, satyavakyo dridhaprata. So Lord Ram's character, Gunavan, was very exemplary. The kind of exemplary character which he displayed in undisturbed, in disturbing circumstances is very thought-provoking. For example, in the Ayodhya Kand, when Lord Ram is coming from his palace to the palace of Maharaj Dashrath, and he is coming from his palace to the palace of Maharaj Dashrath. At that time, he is being told, everybody is glorifying him, that in the next few moments, in the next few muhurtas, you will be appointed as the king of Ayodhya. It's such a nice occasion. And Lord Ram is having a smile on his face and is walking towards the palace of Dashrath to take his blessings. And as he enters the palace of Dashrath, what happens? Complete reversal of situation. You will no longer become the king. Your brother, who is not here right now, who is somewhere near Russia, he will become the king, and instead you have to go to the forest. Same smile, and the Ramayan describes that there was not even a change of expression on the face of Lord Ram. His chitta was completely unaffected. Now nobody can display such opulence of being completely undisturbed. Lakshmana, the Guru Tattva, became so disturbed that he was like, I will go and kill Dashrath. Kill my father. Kill Kaikeyi. Kill everybody. If Ayodhya, the Vasis are objecting, I will do a massacre. I will kill everybody in Ayodhya. Guru Tattva is speaking of this. So in circumstances where even Guru gets bewildered, the Lord doesn't get bewildered. So that is the exemplary character. So Valmiki is asking, Kono asmin sampradam gunavan kahascha veeryavan. Veeryavan means fearless and brave. The Valmiki Ramayana describes very gloriously that if Lord Ram would look with a desire in his mind in a particular direction, that means whatever he has desired has already manifested before he has taken the first step. That is the glory of the Supreme Personality of God. Dharmajna, true knower of principles. If somebody's wife is kidnapped, and if the kidnapper comes and says, sorry sir, before I could realize I already kidnapped your wife. Now I am coming to return. Please take and give me this is the reimbursement slip, please. Who will understand? Tell me, there's no person. But Mother Sita, knowing the glorious character of Lord Ram, was fully confident that after you have chastised me so much, and after you have abducted me, and after you have done so many bad things, still now, even when Lord Ram is about to attack Lanka, even now if you go and surrender to him in a mood of genuine repentance and humility, he will forgive you. Dharma means true knower of principles. Vibhishan, coming to surrender to Lord Ram, the whole army of Lord Ram opposing. But in a climate of opposition, Lord Ram knew the right principle of giving shelter to Vibhishan. Dharma. Nobody is the knower of the dharma better than Lord Krishna or Lord. Therefore, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Whatever the Lord says, that is only dharma. Kritagnyasya. There are so many pastimes of Lord Ram which are glorifying his kritagya quality. The Lord in general is very kritagya. In a conversation between Hanuman and Lakshmana, Lakshmana says that, my dear Hanuman, Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he has all great auspicious qualities. But the reason why I am attracted to him is not because he is Bhagavan. The reason why I am attracted to him is because he is Kritagnya and he is Bahugnya. Kritagnya means if somebody does even one service to him, he never ever forgets it in his life. And Bahugnya means even if you do a small insignificant service, the Lord will see it as such a big service and will glorify it so much that there is no end of it. So because of these two qualities, Kritagnyascha, Bahugnyascha, Lakshmana dedicated his life to Lord Ram. And of course only the Lord can display such qualities. And those who are blessed by the Lord like Srila Prabhupada can display such qualities. We all know that squirrel pastime, when the bridge was being made, all the big monkeys were bringing big stones and mountains to make the bridge. And the squirrel was just dancing in the water, coming out, rolling on the sand, going on the bridge and shaking the body. So some sand particles were just falling. And Lord Ram was so grateful to the squirrel. so grateful that when he touched the body of the squirrel, and it is said that since that day there are 3 lines on the back of the squirrel. And Hanuman, I don't know Hanuman, but in some lectures I hear Hanuman, some lectures I hear some monkey who scolded the squirrel that get out of my way. I'm so busy. That monkey was scolded by the Lord that I'm equally satisfied by what you are doing and what the squirrel is doing. So he is very kritagnya and very bahugya. So these are the ideal qualities of the Lord. And of course, we are same quality as the Lord, not in quantity. So we should also aspire for this quality. As devotees, as practitioners of Krishna consciousness, we should all try to become grateful. Be very grateful for what all the people who have helped me, and be very unlimitedly grateful. You should never belittle or think, oh, this help is good, this help is not so good, nothing like that. This is something that we learn from the character of Lord Ram. Satyavakyo, true and honest to his words. This is a very, very great quality. Dependability and trust depends on non-diplomacy and truthfulness in dealings which we have. I cannot depend or trust on a person who is not truthful. And I can absolutely depend and trust a person who is truthful. So in that way, Lord Ram was very truthful and he was absolutely honest. Whatever he said, he did. And Dridha, he had a determination to protect his devotees. He could go to any extent. Towards the end of the discussion, I will give a brief hint that Lord Ram's banishment of Mother Sita was an act of protection of Mother Sita. This is in defense of Lord Ram. So therefore, because of possessing qualities such as Gunaman, Veeryavan, Dharmatya, Kritagya, Satyavakya and Dridhavakya, Lord Ram is worthy of surrender. Lesson number 3. The pure love of Godhead is free from the touch of awe and reverence. Those who are pure lovers of God, they just want to serve God because He is an admirable, lovely, heart-throbbing character. And not because He is Bhagavan. And their love becomes so intense that the existence of God in the background of display of all His opulences is not important for them. For example, Maharaj Dashrath, I will take you to this is in Balakandam. Vishwamitra is coming and to the court of Lord of Maharaj Dashrath, and very nice conversation happens. The word Ayodhya, it means that which can never be conquered, or that which is unconquerable. So in material world, having a place whose name is Ayodhya is a very hasyaprad or a very laughable thing. In material world, everything gets defeated. You go and see the house of our Ambani in Mumbai. Such a great, how many, 40, 41 floors, how many floors?
400.
So ultimately, what will happen to that one day? I think you can take a chair, please. Please take a chair. Don't mind.
Yeah.
Chairs are behind. Take a chair. More important is to focus rather than the austerity to say nothing. So, Dashratha is having a discussion with Vishwamitra, and Vishwamitra is asking, my dear Dashrath, for the last 3,000 years you have been protecting Ayodhya, fighting the demigods, fighting the demons in favor of the demigods. You are the most expert king and the most expert warrior. You have been conquering literally everything. But how is your conquest as far as the cycle of birth and death is concerned going on? And Dashrath is appreciating. Yes, this is called Charcha. Charcha means that we should have a basis of the Shastra and that we should have Shreyas involved. There are two activities, Shreyas and Prayas. Shreyas means my ultimate long-term benefit, and Prayas means that which gives happiness due to sense gratification. So the Shreyas aspect was being appreciated. And then Vishwamitra said that, okay, I'm doing some yajnas and I need your son, Lord Ram, to fight the demons and help me finish my yajnas. Now it is not that Dashrath didn't know who is Ram. He knew everything. He had seen Lord Ram being brought up and he had seen his qualifications. Since childhood only, Lord Ram had been displaying qualities of Godhead. But when Ram was 12 years old and Vishwamitra came to ask, Dashrath was like, how can I give Ram? Ram Rajiva Lochano. Just like the lotus flowers, as soon as the sun sets, they also close. So similarly, the eyes of Lord Ram used to close and go to sleep as soon as the sun would set. So Dashrath Maharaj's argument was that these nishachars, these demons who pray and thrive in the night, Lord Ram has this Balak Ram, this child Ram has never seen those times of it. He just goes to sleep. How will he fight the demons? And he's so weak. Look at him. And he says, see, I am Dashrath. I have conquered the 10 directions, hence the name Dashrath. Why don't you take me? I will support you. So Vishwamitra became very angry. He said that you fool, you do not know the Satya Parakram of Lord Ram. Only a person who is situated in austerity and tapasya can understand the glories of the God. This is what Vishwamitra said. However, the Acharyas glorified Dashrath even more than Vishwamitra, that his love for the Lord was so much that it was devoid of awe and reverence and even cognizance of the godhood of Lord Ram. Just like the Vrindavan people. Krishna will kill Dhenukasur and come, and then because he killed Dhenukasur, his friends will make him more humble. Meaning to say they will just tease him. So Krishna likes to stay in a place, or the Lord wants to stay in a place where there is no awe and reverence and just intimacy in the various rasas. So the lesson which we are trying to derive here is that pure love of Godhead is without the tinge of awe and reverence. Dashrath is Dashrath because without considering Lord Ram as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he scolds Lord Ram. Lord Chaitanya's father used to scold Lord Chaitanya. So this is pure love. And the second lesson which we are deriving is that Vasishtha and Vishwamitra, they understood the original valor of Lord Ram completely because they were situated in tapasya. This is another lesson. Until and unless we do some devotional austerities, it is impossible for us to become purified enough so that we can pray to the Lord, so that He can reveal Himself to us. Therefore, in ISKCON, the tapasya of attending Mangalarti every day, having bath in the Brahma Muhurta, before the Brahma Muhurta, and coming in the Brahma Muhurta for darshan, aartis, lectures, japa is highly recommended. Ekadashi vratas. Anybody who wants to achieve the lotus feet of Krishna should do the tapasya of as prescribed by the acharyas. And without this tapasya, nobody can understand the Lord. This is the lesson number 3. Lesson number 4 is given to us by the Lord Himself. Lord teaches us how important it is to take shelter of Guru and how to be an ideal disciple. This is one of my favorite lessons and I keep repeating it, although I have never learned it till now. This is the Sita Swayamvar episode. where Vishwamitra tells Lord Ram that Vatsa Ram Dhanush, my dear Ram, go and see the Dhanush. And being a perfect first class disciple, Lord Ram understands the meaning of the instruction, of this instruction, goes, sees the Dhanush. The Acharyas comment that a first class disciple will understand the mind of the spiritual master. So he went and he saw the Dhanush. That Dhanush, which was 8,000 people before Lord Ram had tried to lift it and all had failed. And these 8,000 people were not some farmers or some businessmen or some ordinary kshatriyas. They were kings, chakravarti, samrats, people coming from all different parts of the world. None of them, in fact, in one of the Ramayans, I think in Kamb Ramayan, it is mentioned that Ravana also came and tried to lift it. And all of them, everybody failed. And Lord Ram just lifts it up as if the correct example given in Ramayan is a baby elephant plucking a sugar cane and breaking it. That is the example given. Imagine a baby elephant. How many of you have seen a baby elephant? I saw once, I think I saw it in Patna. I was riding a scooter and it was running next to me. I was driving, it also running. Driving. And then it stopped. And then I also had to stop. So, baby elephants are very beautiful and very powerful. Don't think that the baby elephant cannot do anything. Baby elephant is very powerful. So, a baby elephant plucking the sugar cane from a field and breaking it. How natural and easy it will be. So Lord Ram just comes and picks it up and breaks. And that sound is so reverberant that all who heard, first of all, that sound pierced all the 14 planetary systems of this universe. And everybody heard it. Except Lord Brahma and Shiva, all of them who heard fainted also. And Parshuram. These three people, they didn't faint. Everybody else fainted. They woke up after a nap or something. And it was so loud and it was so strong, so you can well imagine how powerful that Dhanush was. And the Acharyas explained that had it been a second class disciple or not Lord Ram, he would have gone, seen the Dhanush, taken some notes and come back. Spiritual master asked me to do, I did only that much. What's a Ram Dhanush? And a third class disciple will say to the spiritual master, why don't you set the right example? Why do you keep ordering me all the time? Why don't you do it sometimes? However, after breaking the Dhanush with the corner of his eye, he saw Mother Sita approaching with the Vaijanti Mala or the Vivah Mala. And immediately Lord Ram said, Vishwamitra, this was not in the plan. You asked me to see the Dhanush, but this marriage is not possible unless I get permission. The Supreme Personality of Godhead wants permission. The most independent personality who doesn't report to anybody in the incarnation as Lord Ram takes permission of everybody to do it. Maryada. He shows that if I am acting as a human being, I will follow the Maryada of the sun. So send message to Dashratha. Until he gives permission and until he comes, this marriage is not possible. So we see how he is an ideal disciple, how he is an ideal son, and how he later on becomes the ideal master and the ideal husband also. So basically, Lord Ram's real power is not his strength, is not his valor. Lord Ram's real power is his character, which he displays. Lesson number 5. Now we are moving towards Aranyaka. Moving even fast pace. Lesson number 5 is remembrance of the Lord in any way is always beneficial. 7th canto of Bhagavatam, we see Yudhishthir and Narad Muni conversing, and Yudhishthir Maharaj clarifying a doubt. How is it possible that Shishupal, who was always so blasphemous and always in arrogance and always in enviousness against Lord Krishna, how did he get mukti, liberation? So Narad Muni clarifies that irrespective of the nature of meditation, the intensity with which Shishupal was meditating was so nice. 24/7, Shishupal could never forget Krishna and he was always remembering Krishna, although it was a negative version of remembrance. So the devotees should not aspire to, devotees can learn, devotees are hamsas. Just like hamsas separate milk and water. Similarly, devotees being paramahamsas, they take good points. So we take what lesson learned from Shishupal is to always remember and never forget Krishna so intensely. But we should do it anukulyasya. We should do it in a way which is favorable for bhakti. So we should positively try to remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. However, the fact which was glorified was Shishupal's meditation on the Lord was so intense that he was the right candidate for liberation. Shishupal was Jay and Dantavakra was Vijay. If you read the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, you get further clarity that what appears to be Sayujya Mukti, Shishupal being killed, actually what happens is, I'll tell you. The Rupa Goswami has written his heart out in Lagu Bhagavatamrita. The Sudarshan Chakra, being the representative of Lord Krishna, the Sadhu, Sudarshan Chakra is coming. Shishupal is getting the association of the Sadhu. And by the association of Sadhu, Shishupal has been purified. His tendency of blaspheming the Lord has been finished. And because of the Sadhu Sangha, just like Maharaj Parikshit had intense Sadhu Sangha before his death, he achieved complete spiritual perfection. Because of association, or because of being purified by the cutting of Shishupal's neck by Sudarshana. Shishupal was fully purified. And while his head was being cut, in a purified state, he, in a helpless condition, I repeat, in a helpless condition, he was very piteously looking at the beautiful form of Lord Krishna. And just looking at that, he was completely charmed, and before his head was fully cut off, in that very fraction of moment, he surrendered also. So, the soul came and went inside the body of Lord Krishna. Inside the body of Lord Krishna resides Mahavishnu, or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. They went and started serving Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And when Lord Krishna wound up his pastimes, all the incarnations are coming out and they are going to their Niz Dham. Until the time when Lord Krishna was there, Shishupal, Dantavakra, as Jai Vijay resided in the body of Lord Krishna, and when the pastimes were over, they went with their respective lords to their respective dhams. This is the commentary which Rupa Goswami gives. So, similarly, in Aranyakant, there is a character called as Marich. He has become, what can I say, supremely Ram conscious. Ravana comes and tells Marich that, my dear Marich, you have to become a golden deer. And you have to go to Sita and you have to lure her. You have to be so attractive that she should develop a desire to have you. And then she will tell Ram to get it. Lord Ram will go and kidnap him. And then Marich tries to explain Ravan that who is Lord Ram. During the time when Lord Ram was 12 years old, Marich, along with some other late demons, by now they have been killed, they had gone to obstruct the yajna of Vishwamitra. So at that time, Lord Ram had shot one arrow towards Marich. And because of that one arrow, actually it was not even an arrow, he just took a small hay from a haystack, pulled it off, and surcharged it with the power of his potency and threw it at Marich. And with the power of that haystack, which was acting like an arrow, Marich was thrown 800 miles away on the other side of the sea towards Lanka. That too when Lord Ram was 12 years old. And while he was flying away like this in the air, Lord Ram had very angrily glanced at him also. So he was in total paranoia of Lord Ram. Later on another occasion, when due to some bad association, he again got lured in fighting against Lord Ram. When Khada and Dushan were trying to attack Lord Ram, okay, there is another lesson. This is not a lesson, but this is a lesson from the domestic life of Lord Ram. Don't count this as a lesson. Huh? Lord Ram was walking with Mother Sita and Lakshmana in the forest. Mother Sita commented, "This forest is so much in the mode of goodness. Why do you always carry this weapon with you? What is the need of weapons in the forest?" 2 minutes ago in Dandakaranya, all the sages of Dandakaranya have surrendered to Lord Ram, saying that, "My dear Lord, whether you are in Ayodhya or whether you are in Dandaka, you are our king, and this forest is fully infested with demons, and it is your job to protect us." They give the example of Jayant. Jayant is the son of Indra. Once, when Lord Ram and Mother Sita in the Ayodhya Kand, they are sitting in a garden. Lord Ram is resting his head on the lap of Mother Sita and having a power nap. So Mother Sita is very nicely, I don't know doing what, but letting Lord rest his head on her lap. At that time, Jayant, the son of Indra, takes the form of a crow and is attacking the chest or the breast of Mother Sita. He comes and strikes, and blood starts coming out from the chest of Mother Sita. But Mother Sita is so much concerned about the sleep of Lord Ram that she is not making any movement. She is tolerating it. Similarly, next time again he comes, again he strikes, again another wound. This time some drops of blood fell on the face of Lord Ram and he woke up. Then he understood what's going on. He again took one grass, surcharged it with the power of Brahmastra and threw it at Jayant. Now Jayant is running around just like Durvasa Muni was running and Sudarshan is chasing. Jayant goes to his father. His father says, "You are not my son. I don't know who you are." He goes to all the sages, Maharshi, Brahma, Shiva. Nobody accepts him. Ultimately, he comes to Lord Ram and surrenders. And Lord Ram, same answer he gives. That if Mother Sita is forgiving you, then only I can forgive you. Otherwise, you have no hope. Because I have thrown a Ramban at him. And Ramban can never be fruitless. So Mother Sita, when Jayanta, who is not even worthy of Sharanagati, who is not even qualified of any blessings, when he goes and surrenders to Mother Sita says to Lord Ram that just like a newborn baby, when they start getting some teeth, while they are sucking the milk from the mother's breast, when they get teeth, they bite the mother's breast only. But the mother doesn't feel bad. So similarly, Jayanta is like my son. So whatever he has done, he should be forgiven. So this is a hint of the noble character of Mother Sita. So because Mother Sita forgave Jayanta, who was not worthy of forgiveness, Lord Ram also forgave. So the sages of Dandakaranya, they give the example of Jayanta. That, my dear Lord, in the past you have given shelter and protection to Jayanta also. Why should you not protect us from these demons? After this conversation, Mother Sita is pulling the leg of Lord Ram. Why do you carry this Dhanush? 2 minutes ago, Lord Ram has taken a vow that I will kill all the demons, and Mother Sita, this rasa is there. Especially I am not qualified to comment. But there is this rasa. So wife makes fun of husband, husband makes fun of wife. So she's saying, why do you carry the weapons? You are spoiling the sanctity of the forest. Lord Ram is quiet. Lesson learned. You should remain quiet. Lord Ram, Mother Sita taps the shoulder of Lord Ram. Do you even know how to use this bow and arrow? Or you're just carrying it for show? Lord Ram looks at Lakshman. Lakshman remains quiet. Ram remains quiet. After that, Khad and Dushan are attacking with 14,000 demons. Lakshmana is telling, my dear Lord, I am ready. You and Mother Sita go into the Parn Kutir which I have just made. Be there. Don't come out until I say. Lord Ram is saying, Lakshmana, you go inside. My dear Lord, these are low-class demons. This is not the time for you to go to war. Lakshmana, this is my domestic problem. Please go inside. And then Lord Ram, even without the use of bow and arrow, just with a sword or something, he kills 14,000 demons in 2 hours. Rather 2 muhurtas, 96 minutes. And not even a drop of sweat comes from his head. And that is the valor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now coming back to this Aranyakand. Of course, the pastime ends with Mother Sita coming out with a garland. That, oh, I didn't know that my husband is so brave. Good that Janak Maharaj didn't see it. Otherwise, he would have married my other 3 sisters also to you. So, this rasa is there. However, the lesson which we are trying to learn here is the remembrance of the Lord is always fruitful. So, Maricha, when he was thrown by 800 miles, and when he saw the massacre of Khada and Dushan and his 14,000 soldiers, he was in total paranoia of Ram. He was staying in the forest, given up all demoniac propensities, because he was afraid that if I do anything demoniac, somewhere Ram will come and kill me. He was so afraid of Ram, and he was so much always thoughtful of Ram that whenever someone used to say a word beginning with Ra, he used to think, oh, Ram is here. That was his Ram consciousness. Till now, he was feeling the pain of being hit by the arrow of Ram when he was 12 years old. He was not able to recover. So this Marich was always thinking of Ram. Shishupal was thinking of Krishna in enviousness. Marich was thinking of Ram in fear. He tried to convince Ravana that what you are doing is wrong, it is not good. Please understand who is this personality. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you really want any benefit, first of all, you should not take Mother Sita, because Mother Sita is his wife. Like that, a very nice discussion happens. But Ravan is Ravan because he is accustomed to not hearing to good advice. He convinced Marich to become a golden deer. Because Marich was always thinking of Ram, so he got death at the hands of Lord. The point which I am trying to say, or the lesson learned, lesson number 5, please click. Remembrance of the Lord is always beneficial. If we remember the Lord in any way, ideal is to remember Him with love and devotion. But even if we are unable to do that, in any way if we remember, the phala or the result of that is very clear. Lesson number 6. In the Leela of the Lord, or in the pastimes of the Lord, there is very perfect, poetic, symbolic role play. I repeat, in all the pastimes of the Lord, there is role play which is happening for the purpose of teaching to the Jiva Atmas. For example, the Bhagavad Gita conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. It's a role play. Prabhupada also tells it. That Arjuna, being an eternal associate of the Lord, wouldn't have any good reason to fall into this kind of illusion. But by the supreme will of the Lord, he agrees to get into this kind of situation where he is asking questions, and that question and answer is the saving grace for the rest of humanity, for the people in Kali. Similarly, the role play done by Mother Sita, by Hanuman, is very symbolic. The Acharyas comment that Sita, desiring to enjoy something which Lord Ram doesn't want to enjoy, that is the golden deer, at that moment is representing the Jiva Tattva, who has developed the desire to enjoy something separately from the Lord. Because that primeval desire to enjoy something separately from Krishna came, illusion started. And misfortune is represented by Ravana, who comes and kidnaps the Jeev Tattva and takes it. Now, the Lord, He is the supreme controller, He can do anything, but He cannot play with the free will of the Jeev. So therefore, He depends on the Vanara Sena. The word Vanara doesn't only mean monkeys. The word Va means interjection. It means is it or is it not? And Nara means human. So Vanara means is this person human? Could be superhuman. Like that. So, for example, Srila Prabhupada wrote so many books in a very short time, made so many disciples, so many temples. Is he a human? Vanara? Vanara doesn't just mean monkey. Please understand the Sanskrit meaning. So the Lord depends on the Vanara Sena, led by Hanuman, who is representing the Guru Tattva. Hanuman goes to the Jeev Tattva and analyzes, does the Jeev Tattva actually have the desire to come back home, back to Godhead? That's why when Srila Prabhupada was asked, what is it needed to go back to Godhead? Prabhupada said, desire. So the Guru Tattva connects the Jeev Tattva back to the Supreme Personality of God. Although Mother Sita is the Supreme Eternal Consort, but she took the role of a Jeev Tattva for the purpose of the Leela perspective. So there is perfect symbolism. Hanuman being Guru Tattva goes and sees what is going on and then conveys the message of the Jeev Tattva to Bhagwan, and then Bhagwan, understanding the agony of Jeev Tattva, takes steps and then comes and reclaims the Jeev Tattva. So there is perfect symbolism. Every aspect, anything in any pastime of the Lord is not just done just like that. There is a very deep significance in it. Even in Krishna Leela, the demons killed by Krishna and the demons killed by Balram, they have a significance. If Krishna is cursing the gopis for not allowing him to eat his butter, that also has a significance. If Krishna is making fun of the gopis or his friends, that also has a significance. If Krishna is stealing, it has a significance. If Krishna is leaving, it has a significance. Everything has a deep significance. That is the lesson learned. No Leela or no word or no letter uttered by the Lord is meaningless. In the Bhagavad Gita, sometimes we feel, why do we have this shloka? Or why do we have the first chapter? Who is standing where? Who is blowing which conch shell? Who is there? Whose son? Whose? How does it help me in my spiritual life? No. It is because I am in ignorance, I don't know the deep significance of that. So everything has a very deep significance, especially when it is related to the Lord. The Lord's words, the Lord's name, the Lord's form, and the Lord's pastimes are very symbolic. They have a lot of significance. Perfect symbolism and perfect role play in all the pastimes. Lesson number 7. Now we are going to Kishkinda Kand. Lord Ram has met Hanuman along with Lakshman. Ram and Lakshman have met Hanuman. And the meeting has been arranged between Sugriva and Lord Ram. Sugriva, when he meets Ram for the first time, he breaks a branch of a particular tree, which is good enough for sitting also. Offers a seat to Lord Ram. But he doesn't do it for Lakshmana. So here is a very particular case where somebody is respecting Lord Krishna but not respecting Guru. It's a very neophyte case. Lord Ram noticed it. Hanuman noticed it. Lakshmana doesn't notice because he has a pure heart. Hanuman breaks another branch, offers Lakshmana to sit, but Lord Ram has taken note of it and he is quiet. Sugriva is doubtful. What is that statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Siddhant Balya Chit na kare alas. One should not be lazy to understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Now, why Sugriv was doubtful about the prowess of Lord Ram? Because he had not taken shelter of Guru, that is Lakshmana. Lesson learned, doubts and despairs in spiritual life are due to lack of obedience and shelter at the lotus feet of Guru. So he says, how can I understand that Lord Ram is qualified to kill Bali? So then that episode happens where Lord Ram takes a bow, fires it, and it simultaneously pierces 7 shala trees, and then goes into the ground, does something, then comes back and goes back in his cooler. And Sugriv says, oh, now I trust. And then Lord Ram says, okay, go and attack, challenge Bali. And then we all know what happens. A fight happens, Sugriva is beaten black and blue, he comes back. What reason Lord Ram gives for not protecting Sugriva? Yes.
Bali has married, accepted.
What reason Lord Ram gives for not helping Sugriva while they were fighting?
Don't tell the
His
difference.
wife-
Aim.
his-
Aim and Sugriva both are same.
Yes. Now who is Lord Ram, you tell? He is the Supreme Personality of God. He is the Paramatma residing in the heart of Sugriva and Bali. How is it possible that he is not able to differentiate? But he did this on purpose to teach a lesson to Sugriva. The Acharyas comment that the Supreme Lord does not appreciate material opulence. He appreciates spiritual qualities. Sugriva was Bali was an offender, Sugriva was also an offender. Bali was also strong, Sugriva was also strong. Bali was also very rich and powerful, influential. Sugriva was also rich and powerful and influential. Basically, Lord Ram said that both of you have only material qualities and both of you are same for me. Then he said to Lakshmana that pick up this Vijay garland and put it in the neck of Sugriva. So the Acharyas say that Lakshmana representing Guru Tattva, by the mercy of the Lord only inspires Guru to become merciful on someone. And when Guru becomes merciful on someone, then the Lord reciprocates. So when Sugriva started wearing the Vijay garland, it was a point which Lord Ram was making that yes, now you, Sugriva, have a spiritual quality. Your spiritual quality is that you have a mercy of spiritual master. And that Sugriva, Bali, has no mercy. Now I can differentiate. Otherwise, how funny it is, you tell. The primary teaching of Shailapurna to Ramanujacharya and the Pancha, what is that called? Pancha Arthakam. Is the first teaching is that Lord Ram is Paramatma. If he is Paramatma, how can he not differentiate? But he is doing this all on purpose to teach us. And when we see the TV series, maybe Lord Ram, thoda eyesight problem, thoda similar Bali Sugriv, thoda distance, thoda archery problem, many problems we have there. But until and unless we read the purports, that's why I am recommending this Rup Raghunath Vani publications. Very beautifully they are presenting the purports from various sampradayas and fully in line with the purports of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada of Bhagavatam. I never had this clarity until I read it. That the reason why Lord Ram could not differentiate is because he wanted to make a point that I like only spiritual opulences. I am not impressed by your material opulence. And when Sugriva became spiritual by the mercy of Lakshmana, then Ram protected. It is very important to read the commentaries. Otherwise, we will just be roaming around with B.R. Chopra and Ramayan. What they have done is a great work. My obeisances to them. But if you want to fully understand, you have to take shelter of acharyas. So the lesson 7 is, the Lord is impressed by devotional and spiritual qualities and not by material opulences. Lesson number 8. The Supreme Personality of Godhead never interferes with the free will of the living entity. The Supreme Personality of Godhead wants the living entity to do seva in an individual, spontaneous, and voluntary mode. Sometimes the Supreme Lord will do few things in our life which will act like a catalyst for us to become more surrendered. But ultimately the choice of surrender is our own. And the Lord, being a perfect gentleman, doesn't do it on his own. He does it through his Vanarasena. Like in our lives, Krishna has sent acharyas like Prabhupada. Krishna didn't come personally to us and say, surrender to me. He sent the acharyas, and the acharyas are teaching us how to surrender to Krishna, how to surrender to the Guru Parampara. So similarly, the Lord is so much in love with the Jiva Tattva, but He gives full freedom to the Jiva Tattva to choose when He wants to surrender. The only thing which He does is occasionally He sends His Vanarasena, that means the acharyas or the Mahatmas, or sometimes if a devotee is a little more surrendered, he changes the circumstances in the life which become favorable for Sharanagati. So this is lesson number 8. The Lord will never interfere with our free will. We have to be individual, spontaneous, and voluntary in our decision to serve the Lord. Even in the example of Sugriva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can do anything, has become dependent on Sugriva to find Mother Sita. Because that symbolism is there. Mother Sita representing Jiva Tattva, Vanarasena representing Guru Tattva. So the Lord is waiting for Guru Tattva to confirm. But in the specific case of Sugriva, we see, after getting the opulence back, his chastity towards Lord Ram decreases and he becomes absorbed in sense gratification for the Chaturmasya or 4-month rainy period. So at that time, again the Lord sends Guru Tattva Lakshman and asks Lakshman to go and tell Sugriva that the road via which Bali was sent to the abode of death, that road is still open. And Lakshmana's reaction was very nice. I'll close the road and come. I'll go and I'll kill Sugriva. And then Lord Ram says, no, don't kill, just warn, give warning. So he goes in full fear and full fiery and angry mood. And the steps, Ramayana describes as he's walking, it's making the ground tremble. And his breathing is so heavy, as if some great Sheshanag is breathing. And all the monkeys are running helter and skelter. And Hanuman saw from a great distance. He jumped into the palace of Sugriva, took him out of his bedroom and told him, your death is near. Nobody can save you until unless you fold your hands and beg forgiveness and apologies to the lotus feet of Lakshmana. And his anger is so much that it cannot be controlled by your forgiveness also. So do something as early as possible. So, because he had the association of Hanuman, so he was saved from the wrath of the Lord. So in all our lives, we have the representatives of the Vanarasena of Lord Ram. We have Guru, we have Shiksha Guru, we have guides, mentors. We have to take shelter of them. Through them only, we can communicate our sincerity and seriousness in Krishna consciousness to Krishna. If we want to really show Krishna that I am really sincere, what should we do? We should become sincere and serious in our service to the acharyas and the teachers we have. When Lakshmana was convinced that Sugriva is sincere, he was saved from the wrath of Lord Ram. So this is the lesson number 8. Lesson number 9. This is from Sundaram. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshata. We are talking about Vibhishana. Vibhishana, when Hanuman had come to, Vibhishana was already a pious soul, spiritual personality, transcendentalist. However, he always had lack of good association. He was a surrendered soul. He knew everything about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, completely against the impious activities of his brother. However, he needed a further push in his spiritual life to completely dedicate himself for exclusive service of Lord Ram. The goal of our life is to serve Krishna exclusively, nobody else. But for that, we need a very tight kick from Lord Nityananda or our Guru or someone. It's very difficult to give up the artificial way of life which we have created for ourselves. So Vibhishana had this desire to become an exclusive servant, dedicated servant of Lord Ram. But there were some obstacles in his life. So when Hanuman came to burn Lanka, at that time for a brief moment he had association of Hanuman. And by the power of the association of Hanuman, this desire of becoming an exclusive servant of Lord Ram became very prominent in his heart. And then since the time Hanuman had come, he became very vocal in his, rejection of the principles of Ravana and the policies of Ravana and positive criticism of Ravana. Now Vibhishana was such a great personality because he was himself practicing dharma, so he was able to speak about dharma. Now who is Ravana? He is probably one of the strongest people. He could have easily killed Vibhishana. He was probably the richest person also. He could have purchased Vibhishana. Ravana became afraid of Vibhishana because he could not purchase the opinion of Vibhishana. He could not threaten Vibhishana by his strength, by his opulence, by his influence. He couldn't do anything. So this is the power of dharma. If you follow dharma, even if your enemy is Ravana, dharma will protect you. Dharmo rakshati rakshati. You may be staying in Lanka, devoid of all good association. But if you follow the principles of dharma, dharma will always protect you. Other than Lord Ram, if there is any other character whom Ravana was actually afraid of, that is Vibhishana. Because Vibhishana refused to be the yes man of Ravana. He was constantly criticizing Ravana. Give back Mother Sita to him. And the only thing which Ravana did was that I can reject him. So he rejected him, spoke some bad words and asked him to leave. And as he flew into the sky, the Valmiki Ramayan draws a very nice contrast. For the service of Lord Ram, Vibhishana gave up his brother. Vibhishana gave up his sons and daughters. Vibhishana gave up his wife. Vibhishana gave up his kingdom inside Lanka. He literally got bereft of all opulence. But as he is leaving everything along with 4 ministers and going from the Akash Marg or the sky path to surrender to Lord Ram, although he is devoid of all opulence, but still Valmiki Ramayana calls him Shriman. That means one who has all opulence. So the lesson which we are learning from here is Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhokshahe. Amongst all dharmas, the highest dharma is to render pure, unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. And because Vibhishan was doing it, although he is devoid of everything which can be counted as opulence, still he is Shriman, although he is devoid of earth also while flying in the sky. Because he was practicing dharma, so he could speak about dharma, and even Ravana was afraid of Vibhishan. This is the lesson which we learn, lesson number 9. Lesson number 10. The definition of success and failure comes from the Lord and not from the society. Srila Prabhupada often says that we want a certificate of our devotion from Lord Krishna and not from the society in general. We are not here to please the society, we are not here to please the government, we are not here even to please the society of devotees also. We are here to please Lord Krishna. An example of Ramayan which very nicely illustrates this is the case of Jatayu. What did Jatayu do when Mother Sita was being kidnapped? Jatayu was trying to save Mother Sita and ultimately he got killed. And Mother Sita couldn't be saved also. So from the material perspective, if you see this, it's a defeat, it's a failure. The Lord's consort is being stolen. And I'm going to try to save, and I'm getting killed, and the consort is also being stolen. It's a defeat. But what is the end result of this? Lord Ram doesn't consider it as a defeat. The Valmiki Ramayan explains the intention of Jatayu. Very nicely it is being told that devotional service is not what I don't have, but rather what I have and how I can use it in the Lord's service. I was very impressed by this commentary. That devotional service doesn't mean that what I don't have. Here is Ravana and I don't have the strength to fight him. That is not bhakti. Bhakti means what I have. Oh, I have little bit strength. I can hold Ravana for maybe 30-40 minutes. Okay, this much strength I have, let me use it in the Lord's service. This is called bhakti. Ravana, by his knowledge of the Jyotish Shastra and the Vedic literature, he had understood that if I kidnap Mother Sita in a muhurta called Abhijit Muhurta, any activity or any wealth snatched in this muhurta can never be retrieved back by the owner. So Ravana very carefully chose that muhurta to snatch Mother Sita. Jatayu knew the intention of Ravana, so his only intention was somehow I have to delay Ravana so that this Avijit Muhurta gets over. After that he may kill me. And luckily the next Muhurta was any wealth taken in this Muhurta will surely come back to its owner. So just for the purpose of delaying Ravana and helping Lord Ram with the insignificant strength which Jatayu had, he sacrificed his life. And what did Lord Ram see? He didn't see how strong Ravana was. He saw that Jatayu had X amount of strength and he used X amount of strength in my service. So therefore, what is the Yuga Dharma of Treta Yuga? Tritiya Dhyayato Vishnu Tretayam Lilito Bhakti. Fire sacrifice is the Yuga Dharma of Treta Yuga. It is mentioned in the Ramayana that Lord Ram said that those who have spent their entire life doing fire sacrifices, I will give you a destination greater than you. I'm sorry, I am not able to quote the Sanskrit verses, but this is what is written. For example, in Kali Yuga, somebody is chanting Hare Krishna mantra all his life, you will get a particular destination. Lord Ram or Lord Krishna gives a higher destination than that also. I don't know what is that. Ultimate destination is to go back home, back to Godhead. So, this reminds me of another incident in the Krishna Leela. Sudama has come sent by his wife to meet Lord Krishna to get some wealth. And Sudama's feeling is a very humble, meek feeling. Kwaham daridra papiyan, kwa Krishna Shri Niketana, Brahma Bandhu itismaham, bahu bhyam parirandhita. Sudama is thinking, who am I? I am a poor and a spiritually fallen person. Who is Krishna? Shri Niketana. He is the abode of all opulences and all auspiciousness. I have taken birth as a Brahmana, but I am not even qualified to be a Brahmana. I don't have the guna and karma of a Brahmana. So I am an abominable person. But to such a person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is embracing. Bahu Dhyam Pariram. So this was the mood in which Sudama went to meet Lord Krishna. And if you read the Krishna book or if you read the Bhagavatam, out of hesitation and out of feeling very meek and humble and undeserving, he never asked anything from Lord Krishna. Imagine the greatness of Sudama. When I go to pray in front of the Lord, I have a long list. I want this, I want that, I don't care whether I am qualified or not. You should give me because I am chanting Hare Krishna. But here is Sudama, an entire life of love and devotion, but he's thinking, I am not qualified to get anything from Krishna. Whatever I have got, that also is undeserving. So he meets Lord Krishna, and with a hesitant mind he meets him, and then with a satisfied mind he is going back without asking him anything. But after the meeting, if you read the Krishna book, as Krishna is going back to his palace, it is mentioned, Krishna is feeling very bad. He is feeling very small and very humble. Krishna is thinking that Sudama had only one potli or one cloth full of chipped rice. That was his only possession. And he gave everything to me. But I was not able to give my entire possession to Sudama. This was the feeling in the Lord's heart. That Sudama is so much more greater than me. He gave me whatever he had. But when I wanted to give whatever I had, I could not do so. This is how the Lord thinks. So similarly, this is the mind of the Lord. When the same Lord as Lord Ram is looking at Jatayu, he is thinking that he gave everything which he had in the interest of my seva. He gave his life. I am not able to give my life to Jatayu. Jatayu is so much more greater than me. This was the mood of Lord Ram. So this is the lesson number 10. The definition of success and failure, or the certificate of our devotional service, comes from Krishna and not from the society. So therefore, we should try to do things for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna and not develop the witch-like desire of getting appreciation from the society or even from the society of devotees. This is lesson number 10. Lesson number 11 is very clear, that Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lesson number 12 is the concept of Sharanagati. Ramayan teaches us whom should we surrender to. According to Sri Valmiki, a person whom we should surrender to should have these three qualities. He should be always accessible. He should have the capability to protect us, and we should have the supreme compassion to always reciprocate us. Accessibility, capability, and compassion makes one Sharanagati. So all these three qualities are in maximum proportion in the personality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Ram. He is always accessible by everybody. Even personalities like Guha, who are not considered to be having a divine origin, strictly speaking, not considered to be have begotten by Gardan samskaras, even they could access Lord Ram. Capability of Lord Ram to protect is unquestionable and compassionate. We see from the case of Jataka. I can give you a contrast that Sharanagati becomes successful only when the object of Sharanagati has this accessibility, capability, and compassion. In the Ramayan, Lord Ram also tried to surrender to the ocean demigod for 3 days. But ocean demigod did not have the capability to solve Lord Ram's problem. Neither he had the compassion. He was not accessible. Lord Ram was praying. He was not sure. 3 days, 3 nights fasting, done nothing happening. So that's why that incident where Lord Ram is trying to take Sharanagat of the ocean is a complete failure. Another commentary is that one of the essential principles of Sharanagati is that the Sharanagati should be done in a helpless way. That means the person whom I am trying to take shelter of, I should do that whole activity helplessly. So the whole act of Lord Ram trying to surrender to the ocean was bound to be a failure because Lord Ram had a plan B in his mind already. If this will not happen, then I will angrily glance at the ocean and then take out an arrow and try it. So Lord Ram, by these incidents, somebody may ask, why did Lord Ram do this? Why did he try to heat the fishes and the alligators and the whales in the ocean? What was the need to do this? Why did he try to dry up the ocean? We all know that he is SPOG, Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no need for him to do all these things. The answer is to teach the elements of Sharanagati. That in order to do Sharanagati, the object of Sharanagati should be fully accessible, capable, compassionate, and the person trying to do Sharanagati should be in a helpless mood. Just to teach us what is Sharanagati. So therefore, here are the 6 symptoms of Sharanagati. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam prakshishyati iti vishvaso gopritve vanita atma nikshepa karpanya shadruhi Sharanagati. What are the elements of Sharanagati? Number 1, accepting things favorable for discharging devotional service to the Lord. Anukulis, whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness, you accept. Rejecting things which are unfavorable. Firmly believing that the Lord will always protect me or his devotee, to be honest. Feeling exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. 4. 5. Having no interest separate from the Lord, Atma Nikshepa, and always feeling weak and humble, Karpan. Until these 6 symptoms are there, our Sharanagati or our attempt to become a Sharanagati of the Lord will always be a failure. Lesson number 13 talks about the divine character of Bharata, which helps us to understand the sweetness and the innocence of Bhakti. All the demigods, all the sages of Dandakaranya, they are praying to the Supreme Lord, please kill Ravana. And here is Bharat coming, mad in his love of separation from Lord Ram, saying that I don't know anything, I don't know what demigods are saying, I don't know what sages are saying, I don't know anything, just come back to him. This shows the innocence of Bhakti. And we all know how much pressure he had put on Lord Ram to come back to Ayodhya. So much so that a great Mahajan called Janak had to interfere to save the situation. Otherwise, if Janaka wouldn't have come, probably Ramayan would have been different. Ram would have been forced to come back. Even great acharyas like Vasishtha and even Vishwamitra, they were speechless in front of the power of the love of Bharat. They were all acharyas teaching what is right and what is wrong, but when they used to see Bharat, they used to forget what is right. That was the innocence of the love of Bharat. And Bharat was practicing Krishna consciousness in a climate of criticism and misunderstanding. Everybody was misunderstanding Bharat. Vashishta doubted him. His own father doubted him. Lakshmana doubted him. Imagine if I am doing some seva and everybody is doubting my intention of doing the seva. How bad I feel. Or I am doing some seva and nobody is appreciating me. Everybody is criticizing. Because of you, Lord Ram went to the forest. I have not done that mistake also. So Bharat is showing intense practice of Krishna consciousness in a climate of misunderstanding and criticism. And even now, when he is not blaming Lord Ram, that because of you all this is happening. Even now, when he meets Lord Ram, he beseeches him, he prays to him that please come back to Ayodhya. But Lord Ram says, no, I cannot come. And he gives his padukas, which Bharata takes shelter of. And it is not that Bharat's problem have got over by taking these padukas. The residents of Ayodhya still rejected him. This Lord Ram did not like. Because out of love only, but still not understanding the greatness of Bharata, they offended Bharata. As a result of this offense, in future they offended Mother Sita also. Bharata was staying in a different place. What was that place called?
Panch.
Where? What?
Panch.
No. Nandigram. So Nandigram, Saryu river used to flow there. He used to go there at 4 a.m. to have bath. And when the residents of Ayodhya used to come to have bath there, they used to see Bharat and they used to get reminded that we are living today in separation of Ram because of Bharat, and they used to hit him with stones. So Bharat had to change his daily schedule. He had to come to have bath at 3 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. just to avoid the lovers of Lord Ram, who could not bear separation from him. So, in that climate of misunderstanding and criticism for the rest of his life, he served Lord Ram. I will take a moment to glorify Shatrughna also. Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna are all Kshatriyas by nature. No Kshatriya likes to serve another Kshatriya. Every Kshatriya needs his own place. That is why Lord Krishna, when he was talking with Duryodhana, he said, at least give me 5 villages, so that all the Pandavas can have their own village. Please consider the noble character of Shatrughna. Whom is he serving? He is serving Bharat, who himself is not in control, who is serving on behalf of Lord Ram. It is very easy to serve a master who is very glorious and very well renowned. You know what? I am the servant of such and such. Wow. But it is very difficult to serve a master who is constantly being doubted, who is constantly being criticized, who is constantly being... all sorts of calamities are coming to him. Bharata had many ups and downs in his rule of 14 years as a king. Shatrughna served him in his times of glory and served him in his times of infamy. Shatrughna, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughna, all 4 are Vishnu Tattvas only. They are all equally and as great as possible. Shatrughna could have started his own Shatrughnayan or Ramayan or something like that. But he chose to surrender to Bharata because he saw that Bharat is fully surrendered to Lord Ram. So therefore, innocence of bhakti was lesson number 13. Lesson number 14 is, even if we are not able to render direct service to the Lord or surrender to the Lord, if we are successful in our service and surrender to someone who surrendered to the Lord, that is also equally good. Another example, just to prove this, I will give the example of Trijata. Trijata was the daughter of Vibhishan, and she was employed by Ravana in the Ashok Vatika to torture Mother Sita. One day she got a dream that the beautiful Supreme Personality of Godhead has come and he has killed Ravana and killed all the demons, and he has conquered Lanka and has taken Mother Sita back. So she gets up and tells that I've got this dream and this is going to happen. So let's not further torture irrespective of whatever Ravana is saying. Let's all protect Sita. Now because Trijata was the leader amongst those demonesses, and because Trijata surrendered to Mother Sita, and because others were surrendered to Trijata, later on we see that just before the Agni Pariksha, when Hanuman comes and conveys the message that Ravan has died, now Lord is calling you. At that time Hanuman expresses a desire that, Mother, if you don't mind, can I kill all these demonesses? I'm feeling very angry to see how they have tortured me. At that time Mother Sita said, no. They have helped me, they have served me, and they have protected me. This is the noble character of Mother Sita. She wants to save Jayanta and she wants to save demons who are the associates of Trijata. It is not the reality that all the associates of Trijata were actually helpful to Mother Sita. No, they were torturing her. But because Trijata was surrendered, so all the people who were surrendered to Trijata were also saved. So the lesson which we derive from here is, even if we surrender our lives to someone who is surrendered to Krishna, it is as good as surrendering to Krishna. This is the lesson which we learn. I have not written the number. Which number lesson it is now? 15. Lesson number 15, I trust you are counting. I was very amused and amazed to find this, that the real reason why Ramayan was written was not essentially the glorification of Lord Rama. When the Ayodhya Vasis, they started criticizing the supremely pure, noble character of Mother Sita, Lord Ram was not feeling happy. Lord Ram knew that in the past she has protected personalities like Jayanta, Trijata, and now in Ayodhya, when the celebration is happening, where people are throwing colors in the air, whenever she sees the red color, for the next 2 days all she thinks is about Jatayu, because she saw the splash of red blood of Jatayu in the air. All celebration reminds her of Jatayu. And her heart is going away for Trijata, the demons and the monkeys and Jayanta, people who are not qualified to get mercy also. So Lord Ram was thinking that I am so merciful, but Mother Sita is more merciful than me. These people, they are criticizing her. She'll not be able to tolerate that. How she'll not be able to tolerate my unhappiness if she comes to know that they are criticizing her. She will not feel bad that she is being criticized, but she'll feel bad for two reasons. Number one, that I am feeling bad that she is being criticized, and number two, she's so merciful to them that she cannot tolerate such kind of behavior to them. So therefore, the only way in which I can save Sita from a heart attack is to banish her. She should not come to know of such things. And of course, but Mother Sita had her own spies, she also came to know. And she took a decision that in order to not bring any infamy to the glorious, spotless character of Lord Ram, we should not be called as a husband who was controlled by the love of her wife, his wife. So for fear of this and for the glory of the Surya Vamsha dynasty, she decided herself that I will go. And she left. Lord Ram was not happy, Narad Muni and Brahma were also not happy. So they said that how to restore the glory of Mother Sita. Brahma told Narad Muni that you go to Valmiki and ask him to compose Ramayana. And later on, tell Valmiki to teach this Ramayana to his students. And I want that this Ramayana should be recited in front of the residents of Ayodhya so that their heart becomes purified. And that is the only way in which Mother Sita can be restored to her fame and glory. So I was very amazed that the real reason of writing Ramayana is for the love of Mother Sita and not essentially for the glorification of God. So this is another lesson that Lord Ram's love for his associates and devotees is so great that his love only becomes the source or the cause of his own glorification. Lord's love for Mother Sita is the cause of Sri Valmiki Ramayana. And the last lesson, in interest of time, is we all need a transparent via medium or a Purusha Akar. We cannot see the Purusha, but we need a Purusha Akar, somebody who acts like the Purusha in our life, somebody who acts like God in our life, and that is Guru. Without Guru, it is impossible to get mercy of Krishna. Sugriva needed Hanuman. Mother Sita needed also the Vanar Sena. Lord Ram needed Lakshmana to send his mercy to Sugriva. So the Lord's behavior is a very gentleman behavior. He's a very gentleman kind of person. Does not cross the boundary of the free will of the Jiva. So if we want to receive the mercy of the Lord, it is very, very important for us to be connected to the Guru Parampara. Tadavidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. We have to first serve the spiritual master, then surrender to him, and then when we have established our sambandha, then we can ask some questions in a submissive manner, and they will show us the supreme absolute truth. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashayo vidhu. Without taking shelter of Guru Parampara, it is not possible to understand the Paramatma. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado yasya prasadat nagati. If we want to please Radha and Krishna, we have to please Guru. So this is the, I will not say the last lesson of Ramayana, but one of the most important lessons of Ramayana, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can do anything, by the Bhagavatam says by his glance, he was potent enough to dry the whole ocean and just walk over it. He has become dependent on a Vanara to build the bridge. He has become dependent on Lakshmana to talk to Sugriva. He has become dependent on Hanuman to talk to Mother Sita. He is showing his nature. He is showing his eagerness to receive our love. And we have to convey our love and seriousness to him via accepting complete shelter of the Acharyas and the Guru. We cannot see the Purusha, but we can see the Purusha Akar in our life by taking shelter of Guru. The mercy of Krishna is only accessible via the mercy of Guru. This is a constant teaching in Ramayana. So with that, I would like to close today's discussion with a sincere prayer that may Lord Krishna bless us so that we can follow his instructions, so that we can see everybody around us as a part and parcel of Krishna. In that way, express our love for Krishna, and so that we can receive love from everybody by becoming a servant of everybody whom we see. In that way, we should become Vishuddhatma, Vijitatma, and Jitendriya. And in this way, we should make our life successful by chanting the name, form, qualities and pastimes of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with that, we close today's discussion. Thank you.